What happens when our faith fails? Studying Hebrews 11, we see men and women living by faith and walking with God. But what happens when people see God's path and know that obedience and faith looks like and choose not to accept? It's a serious scenario, and one we see happen in the history of Israel. Israel seemed to ignore their faith all the time if you read throughout the Old Testament. But the one time that pops out today is what happened when the Israelites first saw the Promised Land. Yesterday we looked at Moses and Israel passing through the Red Sea, acting in faith in a time of crisis and receiving God's miraculous deliverance. But as you read about Moses and Israel in the rest of Exodus and into Leviticus and Numbers, there's a rather discouraging theme. The people find it hard to believe that God really is leading them to a promised land. In Numbers 13 and 14, we can read about Israel's first approach to this land of promise, the land of Canaan. God wanted to show the people what he was about to give them. So he directed Moses to send out 12 men to explore and report back. And the guys came back with massive grapes and other fruits, the bounty of the land. Numbers 13 verse 27 tells us their report. They gave Moses this account. "We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there." They go on to list out a few more names and people groups who live in the land. And the people of Israel are told of God's blessing, but they see it's not an easy road. They won't be able to just stroll in and set up camp without having to confront some pretty scary enemies. Anak was known for his great height, i.e., he was a giant. But that shouldn't be too difficult, should it? These people had seen God provide rescue by miraculous means that weren't imaginable until they saw it happen. Why should the people fear? Well, you can probably come up with a number of reasons. I know I probably would be scared of the situation. I know I'm pretty far removed, though, from a civilization that operates like the ones we see in the ancient Near East. But when I hear that living by faith, following God's promised blessing, takes work and involves real commitment, I can be tempted to think, nah, that doesn't sound right. It's all about grace alone. I shouldn't need to do anything. That's basically what the Israelites do. They ask, why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be taken as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to go back to Egypt? When our faith is tested, it is so tempting to think that this can't be the way that God acts. And when we see that, no, God does indeed call us to take steps in faith, actions that are uncomfortable or not easy, it's tempting to just say, nah, maybe later. But what happens then? I would really encourage you to go ahead and read Numbers 14. It is an amazing account of the way that God reacts to his people. What we see is that God does experience the pain of rejection and does bring about justice on his people. But he does not give them the full justice their sin deserves. They had rejected God, but God doesn't reject them. Numbers 14 verse 20 tells us, "The Lord replied, I have forgiven them as you asked." He then goes on to describe how the sin is forgiven. They are not put to death, but the consequences of sin remain. None of the generation who left Egypt entered the promised land, with two exceptions. And this is a painful result. Our failing in faith doesn't remove us from God, yet it does hurt us. Ultimately, however, God will still bring about his blessing. And that's what we see happen in today's verse. Remember, we're looking at Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11 verse 30 tells us, "By faith, the walls of Jericho fell after the army had marched around them for 7 days." When the people finally do go in and enter the promised land, God's power and might accompany their faith as he brings about the victory. The jump from the faith of the Red Sea incident to the faith before the walls of Jericho in Hebrews 11 tell of God's ultimate faithfulness as he sticks with his people through their real struggle to be faithful to him. I hope this account is encouraging to you. It is really sobering for me to realize that I may fail and face the consequences of my sin. But God does not utterly abandon. I can come back, taking steps of faith again and again, and know that God is with me. He's the one working his ways. He's working in ways I don't expect. Ultimately, God is the one who is faithful to us.